Right now you're taking a live look at our radar image in which, yes, some of us are getting our fair share of heavy rain right now in parts of Lebanon, very northern Clermont County. Yeah, that storm is seemingly just straddling the line of southern Warren and northern Clermont County. It's producing inches of rain, no warnings in effect, but you can see this has strengthened since the end of the 6 o'clock news. And we have just continued to monitor it pretty closely because of the heavy rain, of course, lightning and the maybe some gusty winds coming in as well. But once again, I'm mainly focused on this storm right here because it's the only storm that we're seeing right now. This time tomorrow, the weather story is going to change pretty decently. So let me turn off lightning tracker for you guys so you get an idea of where the heaviest rain is, and which is starting to get closer to parts of Morrow and south central Warren County. This is moving east about 30 miles per hour. So Harlan Township, you're next. In fact, the shower, if you will, has kind of extended ahead of it. And we're seeing a little bit more strengthening ahead of this, a little bit of a thunderstorm. Not seeing anything in the works about a warning or a flash flood warning, but keep in mind it's bringing in a couple inches of rain where we have seen this push through. Parts of southern Butler County reported an inch, maybe an inch and a half, closer to 2 inches possible as well. And because this has strengthened, that's why I'm giving you that first alert and keeping a close eye on it. Here's the track for you guys, east about 30 miles per hour. Again, this has only strengthened. This hasn't really weakened. So Blanchester, it's right on top of you right now. The heaviest part is yet to come, though. That'll be here just before 7:30, or be there just before 7:30. Martinsville, so south central Clinton County, that'll be a little bit closer to 7:49, and then out towards parts of Highland County after 8 o'clock. Again, it's a slow mover, and so that's why heavy rain is topping our weather headlines, not just for today, but for your weekend as well. We do have a first alert weather day in place for that's going to be tomorrow, Saturday, not just because of the heavy rain, but because of a smaller severe risk as well. I want to show you the temperature for tonight, what your evening ahead looks like before we start diving into that weekend forecast, because while we are seeing a little bit of action right now on radar, most of us haven't, and so those temperatures, depending on where you are, have warmed up to something a little bit more normal, which we haven't hit normal in CVG in a good amount of time. We're at 82 at CVG. Falmouth's at 86, where we're having a little bit of the rain moving through. We've seen those temps drop into the 70s. We saw a high of 84 today at CVG, and of course that has since dropped a little bit as we get later and later into your evening. Okay, tomorrow's a first alert weather day. And it's because there is a chance for some of these severe storms to be bringing in those gusty winds, maybe a brief spin-up tornado and a hail risk as well, but those are lesser concerns compared to the wind gusts. So when? The afternoon into the evening. If you're a numbers person, 2 to 10. It's a good window. That's when we expect those storms to be pushing through, passing through from the west to the east. The concerns with this, it's going to be a damaging line of storms, potentially damaging. Of course, I can't predict the future, but winds and heavy rain, you put those two together, you get a good soaking rain, and then you get one good wind gust. It's enough to take healthy trees down. It's enough to take power lines down. And of course, just flooding risks in general. Don't need wind for that to be dangerous. So that's why we've issued this first alert weather day. Let's unpack the severe risk before I get into the flooding risk, because your flooding risk includes more than just tomorrow. It includes all of your weekend and even a little bit into next week as well. So as far as severe criteria goes, heavy rain's not a severe criteria, but it's on here because I wanted to put it there. Anyways, it's a moderate risk for that heavy rain to turn into some flash flooding concerns, at least a localized flooding concern, maybe not exactly prompting warnings, but definitely going to see some moderate impacts there. Gusty winds, equal threat there. Again, can't rule out some severe thunderstorm warnings pushing on through. And then hail and tornado, there is a greater hail risk than a tornado risk, but both are still there. Both are still possible, especially where we've got that slight risk, which on a scale of 1 to 5 is a 2. It's a 2. So not the highest, not even on the higher side of the spectrum, but it's still a risk. We still want to stay weather aware into tomorrow evening. Again, that window of opportunity, if you will, For right now, what I'm seeing right now is from 2 to 10 o'clock. It's a long window. That's because we're seeing those storm chances all day tomorrow. I'll show you that here in just a second. Let's pivot a little bit. I want to talk about the chance for flash flooding. Of course, it's a very hot topic right now, and that's why I want to talk about it. There's a slight risk for some flash flood warnings being issued for all of the tri-state. That's in place for tomorrow. That's in place for Sunday too. You're right now looking at Saturday's risk. It includes most of, if not all of, Ohio, all of Kentucky, all of Indiana, most of West Virginia. I mean, it includes a ton of Americans, right? So we'll likely get some flood alerts of some kind here in the tri-state or just in surrounding areas too. But what a flash flood risk means. If you're a numbers person, just like me, just like myself, you're like, what does the yellow mean? What does a slight risk mean? That means if there's a 15% chance that within 25 miles of you, so like a 30-minute drive, give or take, depends on what road you are, there's a 15% chance that a flash flood warning could be issued in your location. Downpours, of course, would lead to this, and of course, more flood-prone areas. So if you're down by the waterways, if you are in a valley of sorts, you're automatically at a higher risk for flash flooding just because you are lower, and therefore you have more water on the way to you, especially downstream of the Ohio River. So down towards Louisville, where we've had flash flooding earlier this week. We'll see that risk extended to tomorrow and Sunday as well. So here's what we're seeing for Sunday. They tightened up the polygon a little bit, so it includes less of Ohio, less of Indiana, and less of Kentucky, but it still includes all of the tri-state area in that slight risk, which, once again, a 15% chance that within 30 minutes of you, you'll get a flash flood warning. Again, that's because we've got some storms rolling through on Saturday and Sunday too, but of course, Sunday you're still feeling the impacts of Saturday showers and storms. You're just adding more on top of it. And so if I showed you Monday, we would also be under some sort of risk. It's a marginal risk, so we're starting our drying trend in early next week. So this weekend is really where we're going to want to emphasize turn around, don't drown. Check in on your people and have some ways to receive alerts. All right. Enough of me giving the general spiel. Let's show you what it looks like here on our first alert forecast model. This is one of our higher resolution models that I'm going to show you. It does a really good job on timing. We'll start with tonight. It's a very small chance that you'll get the showers and storms tonight, but those of us that do, those of us that have gotten them, have seen a decent amount of rain and some frequent lightning with this as well. Now we get you into your Saturday. We'll go overnight into your Saturday. So I brought you to 6 o'clock in the morning because notice that there's a chance of showers and storms in the morning. I'm not concerned about anything strong to severe with this. You just might notice it. Don't be caught off guard when you see some dry time. You might even see some peaks of sun by the early afternoon. You'll be like, what storms? What storms are you talking about? I'm talking about these storms, closer to about 2 or 3 o'clock. That's when those showers and storms pulsing up off of the heat of the day. It's going to be in the low 80s, but it'll feel closer to 90 degrees with how humid it is, to give you an idea. So here's 2:30, here's 4. That's when those cells start to pop up. Maybe some gusty winds, downpours, and frequent lightning. Then we roll into 6 o'clock in the evening. That's when we start to notice a pretty distinct line of these showers and storms starting to form. This could form farther west of Cincinnati. This could form right along 75 like what this is showing you. It could form northwest of the area entirely. Give a little bit of error with this model in specific. And you'll notice that those east of Cincinnati more than likely will be getting these showers and storms later than the rest of us, just because these are trekking from northwest to southeast. And you can't rule out some gusty winds prompting some severe thunderstorm warnings. Even as night falls, we'll still be watching for some of those storms to be on the stronger side, but by about 10, definitely by 11, not only will the showers and storms clear the area, but we'll start to calm down a little bit. You might just notice some lightning on the horizon, and then your Sunday rolls in and adds just rain on top of it. There is a little bit of a chance for something stronger with Sunday, but it's not as impressive from what we're tracking for Saturday. So, all that being said, there's several rounds of showers and storms between Saturday and Sunday. It's just that Saturday has a greater chance for some gusty winds, maybe some hail a brief spin-up tornado cannot be ruled out. But Sunday comes in and just adds fuel to this fire, this flash flooding risk. The fuel is rain. We're getting more rain. This is what it equals. So I don't want you to get married to the numbers in each location on this map, because it's very well possible that what you get by the end of the weekend is dramatically different than what this map says. I'm showing you this map because there is a wide range of rainfall totals possible. You'll see that some people get no more than half of an inch. You'll see that not too far down the road, you get an inch, maybe two. Some areas, several inches of rain, in which flash flooding is most likely. So that's everywhere you see there in the red. Once again, several inches of rain, especially downstream of the Ohio River in our tri-state area. That's where we've got a greater risk for some flash flood warnings. And that's just because you're adding rain on top of rain on top of rain. I mean, it's rained at CVG every day for the last 7 days, including today. We'll add this weekend and maybe a little bit on Monday too. And then we'll dry out. But as soon as we dry out in July, we warm right back up and we're starting to talk about the heat once again. So we'll show you that here in that 7-day forecast. Once again, tomorrow is a first alert weather day because of the excessive rainfall, which could lead to some flash flood warnings, and also the chance for some of these storms to be severe. Severe thunderstorm warnings would be prompted by gusty winds more than likely. So that'll be from about 2 to 10 tomorrow. Stay weather aware, have that Fox 19 first alert weather app at the ready. It will let you know if lightning is in the area, which if you have the app, you know exactly what that looks like. It's pretty precise. It's a handy tool to have. And then Sunday, it's not a first alert weather day. However, because we've got storms in the forecast, you're already adding more rain on top of it. It's less of a chance that you'll encounter some strong, maybe severe winds, but rain, of course, leads to a greater flooding risk. So Saturday and Sunday, both days, watching for localized flooding. Monday, scattered showers and storms in that forecast, but I'm seeing a little bit of a drier trend, at least by Tuesday. A spotty chance, just in case things change in the model runs, but I'm seeing a drier trend for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But of course, drier means warmer, and we're exchanging those below average temps, where we're at right now in the low 80s, for above average temps. Perhaps something that's a little bit more, that people are a little bit more used to, which is near 90-degree highs Wednesday and Thursday, and heat indexes closer to 100 degrees both days before showers and storms come right back in to the tri-state on Friday next week. Let's see if we have any questions about this forecast, and we do. We got a good amount of questions. Scott's tuning in from Amelia. It's partly sunny. Yeah, it's been, most of us, a pretty calm afternoon into the early evening in central and south central Claremont County, right where Amelia is not really in the line of anything tonight. So enjoy your evening, Scott. We've got Lisa Faye tuning in. Going kayaking tomorrow isn't a good idea in Harrison, Ohio. It, of course, depends on the time of day. If you need and really want to go kayaking tomorrow, the morning is the better time to do it. However, because you are in Butler County, where Harrison is, you are going to get these showers and storms a little bit on the earlier side compared to us here in Cincinnati. And so you need to be staying weather aware, watching the radar. I mean, just, of course, keep an eye out around 2 o'clock, maybe a little bit closer to 3. But, of course, kayaking, you do not want to be near water when thunderstorms are nearby. So maybe if you can delay it, maybe consider next weekend, hoping that that forecast is a little bit better, just to make sure things are safe and you can actually enjoy your experience, because kayaking is so fun and I want you to have a fun, safe time. Thanks for tuning in, Lisa Faye. Melvin's tuning in. Hi, Erin, I want some nice weather. I think it's been pretty all right here in Cincinnati. I mean, we've gotten our showers and storms. If you're a fan of that, like me, at least sub-severe showers and storms, then maybe the last few days have been really nice for you. But if you're not a fan of some showers and storms, listening to them, and a little bit cooler than average temps, then maybe next week will be your week, Melvin, closer to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where we're seeing a little bit more dry time in that forecast, but in return, we're going to be seeing some warmer temps as well. Thank you for tuning in. As always, you guys, please stay weather aware heading into that first alert weather day. We've got team coverage this weekend. Of course, I'll be in this time tomorrow giving you that first alert. I will break into programming if I need to for any of those tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings around the Cincinnati metro area. Anything else that I see on radar that you guys need to know about, I will get right back on here. You can find us on Facebook, our 24/7 weather channel, anywhere that you stream Fox 19. I will be there giving you that first alert every step of the way. But things are quiet now. Enjoy your evening. That's enough from me. I'm live here in Queensgate. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great rest of your Friday.